When art is made accessible to the public, it has the unique ability to inform and inspire us, to see ourselves reflected in the beauty of a poetic lyric, to let our hearts beat to the pulsating rhythms of a dancer's step, to allow our spirits to be lifted, connecting our highest hopes and ideals to movement and melody, envisioning a wellspring of limitless possibilities in our collective future. For song and dance are both borderless and boundless. And when genius speaks in any tongue, the entire world will hear it and listen.
The Airmen of Note is a world-renowned jazz ensemble from the United States Air Force, created in 1950 to carry on the style of Glenn Miller's Army Air Force dance band. Today, the Airmen of Note continues the innovative course initiated by Miller over 7 decades ago. And now, from Washington, D.C., under the leadership of Chief Master Sergeant Brian McDonald and the musical direction of Master Sergeant Kevin Sarovich, please welcome the Airmen of Note. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise as you are able for the playing of the national anthem. You may be seated.
Thank you so much. How's everybody doing this evening? Great to be with you. I am Master Sergeant Kevin Sarovich, and from Joint Base Anacostia Bowling, just right down the river of Peck, we are the United States Air Force Band's Airmen of Note. And on behalf of our commander, Colonel Don Schofield, it's a pleasure to be here with you tonight in this beautiful, historic venue on this gorgeous peak cherry blossom day here in wonderful Washington, D.C. It doesn't get much better than this, so we're glad to share the afternoon with you here. That tune we opened up with was an exciting piece, and it's actually, I will tell you more about what we're using it for throughout the year later on, but right now, it's a Charlie Parker tune, and it's entitled Ale Cha, and it has two melodies happening concurrently, and it was fun to listen to that. You could probably hear Master Sergeant Barsvik and see Master Sergeant Brandon back there weaving in between each other on those interesting melodic lines. That was arranged by Michael Philip Mossman, and first on that, you got to meet from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Senior Master Sergeant Luke Brandon on trumpet. Then down on that wonderful alto solo from Marion, Massachusetts, that was Master Sergeant Christian Barsvik. We're going to move along now with another song that we just played recently at our Jazz Heritage Series concert, which is something we do every spring over at Northern Virginia Community College. We play 3 concerts, and this year we are featuring the music of jazz luminaries. The first one was the great big band music and compositions of the great Dizzy Gillespie's big band. The second one was Sammy Nestico, who was a brilliant jazz band composer, and a Hollywood composer, in fact, and one of the early leaders of the Airmen of Note. And so this tune, entitled Who's Sorry Now, is from that concert, and it's a beautiful, beautiful old standard, and you're going to get to meet some new folks in the band on it. So please enjoy Sammy Nestico's version of Who's Sorry Now. Thank you. Who's Sorry Now? That's a sassy title. I like that. On that first, you got to meet over there on piano from Buffalo, New York. That's Master Sergeant Chris Ziemba. And nobody's sorry now with that trumpet solo back there from our split lead trumpet player, also playing a great lead version of that tune as well from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. That's Technical Sergeant Fareed Simpson Hankins. And we have one more member of the band whom you haven't met yet, and it's a real treat to play with her, and she's going to be singing a tune that is from our last Jazz Heritage Series with Sammy Nestico's music, but we're also going to play it on our next Jazz Heritage Series concert on Thursday, May 9th. And I will tell you more about that in a little bit because it's a very exciting one if you like the history of jazz music. But first, she's going to be singing Sammy Nestico's arrangement of Just Friends. She's from Bountiful, Utah, and she's our fantastic vocalist. Say hello to Technical Sergeant Clara Campbell.
Just friends, lovers no more. Just friends, but not like before. To think of what we've been and not to kiss again seems like pretending it is at the ending. Two friends drifting apart. Two friends, but one broken heart. We loved, we laughed, and we cried. Suddenly love died. The story ends, but we're just friends. Again seems like pretending it is at the ending. Oh, two friends drifting apart. Just two friends, but one broken heart. We loved, we laughed, we cried, and suddenly love died. The story ends, but I can't pretend the story ends, but we're just friends. And we're just friends. Ooh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Keep your hands together for Master Sergeant Mike Simprola on alto saxophone. And the newest member of the Airmen of Note, that is Technical Sergeant Will Nathman on tenor saxophone. We're going to continue next with a song off that same record, Sarah Vaughan, with the Count Basie Orchestra, arranged by Sammy Nestico. This is I Hadn't Anyone Till You. Was a lonely one till you. I used to lie awake and wonder if there could be a someone in this wide world just made for me. And now I see I had to save my love for you. I never gave my love till I met you, and through my lonely heart demanding it, well, Cupid took a hand in it. I hadn't anyone, oh, till you.
Campbell on the vocals. Clara Campbell on the vocals. Don't go anywhere, Clara. You'll sing another one in a moment, but I want to talk to him first. I could hear you out there saying, I wonder why that guy didn't talk between those two tunes. So I'm talking now. One more hand on that for a lead trombonist from Salem, Oregon, Technical Sergeant Matt Hetworth. Fantastic work. And so, as was mentioned in our introduction, we were created in 1950 to carry on the style of Major Glenn Miller's Army Air Forces Dance Orchestra. And for those of you not in the know, Glenn Miller was the biggest pop star of his day. He was the Taylor Swift of 1942, and or something like that. And he decided at the peak of his popularity and success to commission into the Army Air Corps, the predecessor of the United States Air Force, and bring his whole band with him and bring the sound of American jazz, the sound of freedom to an entire generation around the European theater tirelessly until he lost his life, unfortunately, as a result of his service. But not before leaving the indelible impact of our American culture on the hearts and minds of those in Europe as we liberated our way through war-torn Europe. And so we're proud of that heritage and legacy, and we always play some of his music at our concerts, one, for that, to honor that tradition, but also because it's really fun. But I was thinking, on the way here, in addition to that, the mission of the Air Force Band, of which the Airmen and Note are a part, is to honor, inspire, and connect. And music connects people like nothing else. We're all here today, which is beautiful. And a special thing that happened, I was thinking about the cherry blossoms outside, and they were given to this country by Japan as a sign of friendship and peace. And then, of course, in World War II, Japan and Germany were our enemies for the war. And now, of course, we maintain very close relationships with them. And over COVID, we were inside and we couldn't perform. And we made a social media video where we performed with members of 7 different nations' armed forces bands. We played with Australians, Brazilians, the UK, Norway, Finland, Germany, Japan, and Australia, and it was an amazing thing. And we played a Glenn Miller song, I'll Be Seeing You, kind of an anthemic hit from the war. And then it dawned on us after the fact that, wow, here we are playing this World War II music, loved the world over, with the primary Allied powers from World War II and with Germany and Japan. And here we are 70-some years later playing this in harmony together through the power of music. So that's a really cool connection to that generation, and we're honored to carry that forward. So without further ado, we're going to do one of Glenn Miller's hits for you. And yes, it's a couple of different languages in this one, so try to keep up. It's going to feature Clara. Please enjoy Say CC.
In Spain, you'll hear CC. In France, you'll hear wee wee. Every little Dutch girl says ya ya. Every little Russian says da da. But sweetheart, tell me why. No matter how I try, won't you answer to my plea? Won't say yes in any language to me. When will you say CC?
Tactical Sergeant Clara Campbell on the vocals. You'll get to hear a little more from Clara later on. And once again, first on tenor saxophone, that wonderful solo from Chapel Hill, North Carolina, that's Senior Master Sergeant Grant Langford. And if you enjoyed what you heard tonight and are hearing tonight, we invite you to follow the Airmen Note on social media and check out more of our music online. And indeed, any of the 6 performing ensembles of the United States Air Force Band. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, all of that stuff, and we're all out there, and you can find out where we're playing next, one of which will be our exciting tour through the Mid-South into New Orleans next month. And also, on Thursday, April 9th, at 7:30 p.m., we will be at Northern Virginia Community College Schlesinger Auditorium playing a special concert with the full Airmen of Note and the Air Force Strings, and we will be featuring all of our saxophone players one at a time playing the iconic Bird with Strings, Charlie Parker with Strings. So if you like that music, and if you grew up listening to it like I did and love it, come on out to that concert and support and share it on social media. We're looking forward to that. And it's a great way to keep you with us as we travel around the country and the world over the next year. We're going to be in Norway in the summer and all over the place. So I'm assuming many of you from out of town, it's a great way to keep in touch and find out when we're coming to a community near you. So we look forward to that. So we're going to feature another brilliant soloist in the band, and this came from our Jazz Heritage Series concert of Dizzy Gillespie's music. Dizzy Gillespie was, of course, one of the great innovators of bebop jazz and American music in general, but he was also very much a fostering environment for young, brilliant musicians in his band, musicians like Benny Golson and things like that. And so one of his members, Benny Golson, penned this next tune for a brilliant 25-year-old trumpeter who tragically lost his life due to a car accident. And the story goes that as the band, Dizzy's band, was on stage somewhere on the road, they got word right before they performed that this man, Clifford Brown, had passed away. And as the curtain came up, the band was in tears, and they played on the show. But in commemoration of him, Benny Golson, one of Dizzy's saxophonists who would later go on to great prominence in jazz, penned this beautiful tune. And we're going to feature Master Sergeant Logan Keese on it. Here's Benny Golson's I Remember Clifford. Please enjoy. Master Sergeant Logan Keese on the trumpet. And as long as I'm introducing the trumpet section, you've met Logan and Luke, our brilliant soloists, as well as Fareed back here, split lead. I'll introduce you to our lead trumpet player and our boss, and your favorite lead trumpet player's favorite lead trumpet player. He's from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Say hello to Chief Master Sergeant Brian McDonald. And from the pinnacle of the band, sonically, down to the bottom. That's not to say this is a pyramid scheme, but down on the bottom of the pyramid in sonic sounds is our bass trombonist, and he's a brilliant, good guy and brilliant bass trombonist from Greenbush, Maine. That's Senior Master Sergeant Ben Polk. Okay, up next we're going to do something fun. This is a fun old standard entitled the Continental, which in addition to being one of my favorite type of breakfasts is... I'm sorry, let's just start the concert over. Sammy Nestico arranged this. It's a beautiful tune, and we're going to feature a man that now I don't have to introduce as the newest member of the Airmen of Note, because Sergeant Will Nathman's here. And so this is the second newest member of the Airmen of Note, and he's a great jazz trombonist. He also hails from Buffalo, New York. Say hello to Technical Sergeant Brendan Lanahan playing the Continental. Thank you. trombone, Brendan Lanahan. That's the most buttery sound I've ever heard, especially after I made the continental breakfast pun. It stuck with me that was something to say. How about over there on drums from Decatur, Illinois, that's Master Sergeant Dave McDonald. Next to him on bass, keeping us honest, he's from Windsor, Connecticut, that's Master Sergeant Ben Thomas. And you met Chris already on piano. Next to him, playing those beautiful extensions and so forth down there, he's our guitarist, and he's from Arlington, Virginia, nearby, right across the river. That's Senior Master Sergeant Jeff Reeser. Who else? Down here on baritone sax. I don't think you're going to get to hear him solo today, but come on out on April 9th and you'll hear lots of Seth. He's from Reading, Pennsylvania, and he's a great bari sax player and a heck of a good guy. His name is Technical Sergeant Seth Ebersol. And finally, back there, we have some fantastic support here at the Millennium stage. Thank you all for making us feel so welcome and well supported. And we brought our own audio engineer with us as well, and he's from Phyllis, Wisconsin. He's back there in the dark, in that little cave back there, and he's a good guy as well. That's Master Sergeant Jim Wolf. He could cut my mic, I have to be careful. So one of the first bebop albums to ever come out was a collaboration of two gentlemen we've talked about as part of our Jazz Heritage Series. On one hand, the firebrand trumpet stylings and blazing wit of Dizzy Gillespie, and on the other hand, the innovative genius and sensitivity that is Charlie Parker. And they came together to create an album, and they hired a star-studded rhythm section and had a young vocalist with them named Sarah Vaughan in her early 20s, and they recorded a lot of great stuff, and the name of that album was Sure Enough. And actually, the tune we're going to play now is the title track from that album. And it's a fun one arranged by Chuck Owen, and you're going to get to meet a lot of folks. Please enjoy Dizzy Gillespie and Charlie Parker's Sure Enough. Thank you so much. Logan Keese and Luke Brandon on the trumpets. And Dave McDonald on the drums back there. So before we go, I just wanted to come out briefly and recognize a special group of people that are here tonight. And they're at every show we play. We travel this country, north and south, east to west. And you can find out more about that on our social media page, by the way, which you can scan the banner over there. But nonetheless, when we travel around, everywhere we go, there's the same group of people in the audience, and I know they'll be represented well here tonight. Men and women who understand the meaning of service before self and sacrifice, and in my opinion, the cornerstone of our society. And I'm talking, of course, about our veterans. So if you are a veteran of any of the armed forces of the United States, please stand or give us a wave so we know you're here tonight. And we salute you. Thank you. Thank you for your service. It's on your shoulders, your broad shoulders, that today's airmen stand. My own father is a Vietnam vet, and he told me his experiences, and I think if we do one thing well these days, it's to honor and respect our veterans, and we're proud of that to represent all of us. We're 18 active duty airmen ourselves here on stage, but we represent the more than 680,000 active Guard and Reserve airmen serving around the globe this very day. Many from right here in Washington, D.C. I looked it up. There are over 30,000 vets in D.C. alone and 280,000 in the National Capital Region. So people understand the military service here. And we represent all of our brothers and sisters in arms in the Air Force, because we can't take you onto the flight line. We can't take you down into the missile silos. And if I'm being honest, we're not allowed in there either, but that's beside the point. But what we can do is come here and bring you a glimpse of the pride, the professionalism, and the excellence of your United States Air Force. And so before we go, I want you to keep those men and women serving tonight in your thoughts. And we're going to play a special song for you now. And especially in these times we live in, I think it's a very important song because it does what the Air Force Band strives to do day in and day out, which is to connect people through music, to bring us home and remind us what we have in common with each other, what we share together in this great nation. And to say to those that would like to see Americans divided that no, we are one people. We are all Americans. And with that spirit in mind, we're going to bring Technical Sergeant Clara Campbell back out to close us out with America the Beautiful. Please enjoy.
Oh, beautiful, for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountain majesties above the fruited plain. America, oh America, God shed his grace on thee and crowned thy good with brotherhood.
Clara Campbell and the Airmen of Note. I tell you, we might have one more for you if you're in the mood for it. Thank you all. Get home safely. We'll see you again.
Thank you for joining us at Millennium Stage. For more information about